I believe Eyewitness News reporter Aaron Kennedy is out in the crowd right now, kind of getting a feel. Aaron, and I have to tell you, it isn't really all that exciting right now. People are being cautiously optimistic here at the GOP headquarters tonight, right?
Mark, I think you described it perfectly. I think the word is more or less tentative. People really want to hear the good news, but so far it's not looking as wonderful as they had hoped. As you mentioned earlier, General Centracchio is supposed to be coming down somewhat soon. Right now I'm just trying to keep an eye on you and also an eye on the doorways here. I also just spoke with Bill Harsh. I asked him if we would be able to speak with him. He said not right now. I think that he's waiting before he does any sort of interviews. But as you can hear behind me, as you can hear yourself, people here are just hoping for those good news numbers like Governor Carcieri. In the meantime, of course, we're going to wait for Centracchio and Bill Harsh. Sending it back to you, Mark.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much.
Thank you, Audrey. We're going to go back out to GOP headquarters where Aaron Kennedy has Reginald Centracchio. Again, he was the candidate for lieutenant governor, and she's talking to him. Aaron?
Hello, Karen, Steve. Yes, we are still at GOP headquarters, and with me I have General Centracchio and his wife, Linda. We did get to speak earlier, and we heard you on stage, but again, what do you want to reiterate to everybody who is supporting you tonight?
I certainly thank the entire state that helped with the campaign, especially our volunteers, and all that made any effort whatsoever for the campaign. Certainly our family and everyone else that supported us from the time I announced through this evening. So I'm extremely happy. The experience was one that everyone should try at least once, and I think it makes us all better Americans participating in a political process.
And Linda might say try it once, but maybe only once?
Only once, I think. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. We made wonderful friends, and everybody was so supportive, and we appreciate it. We really do.
Well, and I've been seeing so many people coming up to both of you, giving you hugs, handshakes of encouragement. One other thing that we wanted to know, is there anything that you wanted to say? Because we know family is so important. Anybody specific that you wanted to thank?
I think after all is said and done, you go through the campaign, you go through this, and you go through that, and whatever it takes. But after all is said and done, the family is really what matters. And I think this whole campaign was based upon family values and the importance and the integrity of who we are. So you may not win the election, but you still retain integrity and honor and all that family brings. As far as we're concerned, that's the most important thing.
That's all that really matters.
I agree. One last question for you. As earlier in the night, we pointed out the Nightlife Orchestra over there.
Nightlife Orchestra.
And you used to play trumpet with them.
I still do.
You still do?
Yeah, I still do. And I'll be going back to that. In fact, they cleaned off a stand. I might play with them later on. But that's what I'll be doing over the next several months.
So we can put in a request now if we want to hear something special.
Providing I know it, I'll play it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, Mark, as I said, a lot of people just shaking hands right now and saying that they just fought the good fight. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Karen, I didn't see her in the room. I didn't hear if she was coming at all. I haven't seen her at all tonight, but I do hear we have Patricia Morgan standing by with Eyewitness News reporter Aaron Kennedy. Patricia Morgan, of course, the chairman. She'll correct you. She's the chairman of the GOP party. Aaron.
That's right, Mark. Thank you very much. And Patricia, we were talking, and you said it's been a very long day. How's everybody doing right now?
I think they're disappointed because the senator lost and our other candidates lost, but they're still hopeful that the governor's going to hold on, and looks good.
And you had earlier quoted that he was ahead by 8,000 votes.
8,000 votes. There's 14,000 absentee ballots out. And right now, the Board of Elections is starting to go through those, so we'll know soon.
And do we know if he's going to be talking anytime soon?
I guess it'll take about 45 minutes now for the absentee ballots to be completed. So,
wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And they feed them in those machines down there. So it's really, I can't tell you for sure when it's going to be, but as soon as we know, we'll get a word from him whether the governor will come down or not.
And you and I have noticed the crowds are thinning out here. Who is left? Are these the die-hard or Carcieri die-hards? Who's hanging around?
They're just a lot of volunteers, people who won a victory tonight.
Yeah. And you want to point out your pin? Because I really like it.
Oh, my pin, my elephant here. Yes. It's a disappointing night, but this isn't the end of the Republican Party. We really are better organized than we've ever been. We've done a really robust get-out-the-vote effort, something that this party hasn't seen before. So I know in the next election we'll be better prepared than we were this time even, and we'll start building. We'll start getting more numbers up there in the State House.
Right. One last question. I was speaking with some people who are running for town council today. A lot of people, Republicans who lost, say that people were just voting straight party tickets. Do you think that's what happened?
Yeah, that appears to be what it is. We are a very blue state, as you know, and I think we got caught up in the national politics. They wanted to send a message to Washington, and they forgot that they're going to have to live with the town council that they have in their own city.
That certainly seemed to be what Chafee was saying as well.
Right.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to add?
No, not for right now. We'll just wait and see.
Just
and
sit
hopefully
tight.
the governor will be down for his victory speech soon.
Great. Okay. Thank you so much, Patricia.
Thanks.
All right, Mark, yes, we are back to the waiting game, but of course, we'll stay here in the trenches and we'll let you know if anything new surfaces.
All right, Aaron and Patricia Morgan. But I've actually lost Aaron, too, at this point. I know she's here. But Patricia Morgan was just up at the podium. Oh, Aaron's giving me a thumbs up, so I'm going to send it out to her.
If we have a camera, we'll go to her.
I think we do. All right. Yes, Mark, I was right behind you. As you mentioned earlier, though, the crowd really has thinned out. We had it on national news earlier, but as soon as Joe Fleming just announced that Carcieri does have the lead right now by 8,000 votes, we're putting it on Eyewitness News right now. They're scanning through the channels, but when Patricia Morgan just announced that Carcieri had the lead, you heard it here. Everybody is thrilled because these are the people. Okay, here we go. You're watching it live as people react to the numbers on the screen here at GOP headquarters at the Crowne Plaza. Donald Carcieri with 51% of the vote versus Fogarty's 49%. If you can hear me over them, that is by about 8,000 votes. I'm looking at people, they're just giving each other high fives. People are thrilled. This is probably the best way that they could have capped off the evening because all people want to hear, let's give it up, folks, is that Carcieri won. Of course, this has been a long night for Republicans, so news like this is something that really is going to cap off the evening well. And as Patricia Morgan mentioned earlier, we were expecting Carcieri, she said 15 to 20 minutes. That was probably about 10 minutes ago. So if Carcieri can't hear the screaming now, I'm sure he's running on his way in here now to come to this crowd who's really pumped to see him. So Mark, we'll let you know as soon as we can grab him. Okay, Karen and Steve.
Although the governor is perfectly capable of running in great shape, my sense is that he probably won't be running. He'll be very calm, make sure that his wife Sue is calmly traveling with him, and no doubt we'll hear from him in moments.
Certainly hear the chanting there behind Aaron as we hear 4 more years, 4 more years. You can hear the chanting behind her as the crowd is waiting for the governor.
Karen, I could barely hear you over there screaming, but they are 4 more years. So as I said, if Carcieri hasn't heard him by now, I'm sure he's running in. But we have people standing next to us. They're holding balloons. They're holding signs. People you're looking at are obviously the diehards. They're wearing the stickers. They're doing everything they can to get the Republican support out because it has been a rough evening for everybody, but we're just going to wait right here, and everybody is really excited right now. They're all just waiting with bated breath, looking at us and watching the TV. So hopefully we can get them Carcieri sometime soon.
I know we have Walt Buteau standing by over at Democratic headquarters, and I'm not sure if this is a significant enough difference. It would seem to be, based on what Joe has told us, that almost 8,000 votes separating them would give the race to the governor. And I'm not sure if Charlie Fogarty will take the podium to deliver a concession speech if they've had a phone call between them or not.
I don't know. Well, can we head over
Steve,
to Walt
right.
Buteau?
Steve, you had mentioned if it's too close to call, I think it is that 14,000 votes, the absentee ballots that were the difference. So I think that they're calling it here, and as you said, Joe Fleming, so I guess it's just going to be a question of whether Fogarty or Carcieri comes down first and what they really do have to say. But the people who are here are really crossing their fingers that it is Carcieri and that those 14,000 votes went their way.
All right, thank you very much. We'll get back to you as soon as you have a governor sighting. We have Mayor Laffey here. What's the protocol when you get down to this particular point, Mayor?
Unseating a very popular governor.
Okay, thank you, Joe. We're going to go back over to Erin Kennedy at GOP headquarters, and she is with a member of the Carcieri family. She is with the governor's daughter. Erin?
Hi, Karen, Steve. We're holding hands here because this is finally some good news. It's a habit of mine. But we're speaking with Governor Carcieri's daughter, and I'm sure you heard the good news probably a little bit before us, but how are you doing? What's the word?
Actually, I just heard it up on the screen myself, but it's wonderful. You know, we knew it would be a close race, but he's a wonderful guy. He's a great leader. We're so excited by this news.
This might be him coming in now.
I think they're cheering. I'm not sure. Maybe us up on the screen.
Oh, yeah? Oh, okay. Then we should wave maybe. Do you know whether there was a phone call between Carcieri and Fogarty?
I don't know that yet. When I last left them, they're waiting for some of the final ballots. They were expecting 20 minutes. I expect them any minute.
Did your dad think that the race would be this close?
I think we all thought it would be close. It was a very tough year, clearly, for Republicans across the country, and here in Rhode Island, same tactics were being used, and that's par for the course. You know.
Were you watching the exit polls with him?
Yes, we were all together in a room. It was a nail-biter.
Yeah, what was he saying? What were you guys doing watching the numbers come out?
Yeah, we were watching them go up and down, and we knew we were strong in certain areas, and our opponent was stronger in other areas, and we were waiting for those final numbers to report in, and that would decide it.
Now, I know that Governor Carcieri had said that Sundays, we have some people coming up. We'll swing on over live to the podium. Do you know this woman who's taking the seat?
This is Deborah Smith. She's the chair of our campaign.
She
this
seems
time
excited.
and last time. Yes, this is wonderful. She's a wonderful woman.
Great. Well, I think maybe we'll take it over to her, but Allison, we'll keep in touch with you. Thank you so much for talking to us. Karen, Steve, we'll put it on maybe the podium over here.
Tonight has been a bittersweet night for us.